Hello. Hope everybody's okay. Here we go. So I can see everybody's comments. Hope everybody's okay. Drop me a thumbs up or a hello when you get here. Just realised I forgot to mention that I was going to be live today on my blog post, didn't I? That was a bit daft. Hopefully a few people will tune in and... Hi Alison! Thank you for tuning in. I wonder... I'll just... if I pop in hopefully that will get some people to tune in as well. Okay, so oh yeah, there's 5 people watching now according to that. That's good. So if you haven't seen it already, this is my card that was on my blog post today, which I really enjoyed making actually, but it did get some distant splatter on that after I coloured it in from something else I was doing. But yeah, you can't really tell, can you? Right. Oh, no, we're back down to 2. Hi, Lynn. Hopefully we'll get a few more people joining in and watching. Thought I'd do a journal page today. I've been mulling it over in my head as to what to do. Hi, Maxine. Oh, that's good. A few more people come in now. And yes, I decided that for those of you who aren't aware, you can subscribe and get some gorgeous freebies from Bee Crafty. And so I thought I'd use one of the papers that I've downloaded and printed out today. So there you go. Right, so 6 people watching now. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll get started anyway. So yeah, yeah, that's the card that's on the my blog post today, and we're going to do a journal page. So this is one of the papers that I printed out, and I'm going to stick it down. I printed it out in A5 size, so I basically printed it and trimmed around the edge so to cut the rest of the sheet of paper off. And I just love the arrangement of flowers, but it doesn't quite fit across both pages and it's just a bit too wide. So I'm going to trim it down and then get a bit more creative with it. So I'll get my paper cutter to start off with. And I've already put a couple of marks on here where I need to trim it. So I think it's that one. If that's right, it might be, it might not be. No, I think it might be not enough. Let's look. They are fabulous papers, aren't they? Yeah, it needs a little bit more, Okay. Let's try that. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Well, I thought it'd be an ideal time to use them because I know there are quite a few people who have done the I can't remember what does it phrase them. It's the subscribing, isn't it? Subscribing. That's it. Yeah, so as you can see, there's this gap here, and I don't want a gap there. So I think what I'm going to do, although it means it'll sort of break this up a bit, I'm going to tear sort of between the flowers there. So I love these 3 sunflowers so much. And I know there's like other flowers in the background, but I just think it'll work better doing it like that. Okay, I'll do this. There we go. So I've got, now let's get this right. Yeah, that's it. So one bit I'm going to put one side and one bit of the other, and then I've got my gap down the middle, which I'm going to colour. I'm also going to round these corners. Hi, Caroline. So just so people are aware, I've just printed this out on pretty ordinary printer paper. I suppose it might be slightly thicker than it's. I know it's a bright white one, and it. I don't think it actually. I don't think it was particularly thicker than usual. Might go that way around actually. Yeah, that looks okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm looking at these colours here, and I'm going to colour that background a bit. So I'm thinking Wild Honey Distress Oxide. Yes, my printer is just a plain old inkjet printer. It's not anything special. So I think, you know, it just goes to show you can print out the freebies easily. And I'm just going to add some ink down the middle here. Okay. And just looking at the colours there, I think I'm also going to add a bit of stamping in that gap. And I'm going to use some rusty hinge because I think that maybe rusty hinge looks about right. And maybe some, oh no, that's wrong, crackling campfire I was thinking. Because I think a bit of stamping with those down that middle gap will make it look less obvious. Okay. And I think I'll use these. I'm not going to put them on a block. I'm just going to pop them on my fingers because it's the crease of the page. So these are the oh, bless you, Caroline. These are the mixed leaves. I can't something leaves. Can't remember. Stamps that came out last autumn, and they are rather fabulous. So there's some. And I'll use this one with the rusty hinge. So that was a crackling campfire, and this is a rusty hinge one. Yeah, that looks all right. I need to make sure that you can definitely see where I'm working, don't I? Okay. The mixed leaves, thank you. Thank you, Alison. I think the other thing that I want to do, I'm losing things on my desk today, I don't know. Nothing unusual there, you're probably thinking. I'm just going to, hi Bev, just going to ink down the edge of this torn bit as well. And this bit here. Okay. Yes, so for those of you just joining me, this paper I printed out. It's one of the freebies that you get if you subscribe, which is 99 pence a month, is it there? Can't quite remember. But I've just printed it out in A5 size and then just trimmed it down a bit, and now I'm putting some matte medium on the back just to stick it down, getting it on my ribbon as well. Oh dear. There we go. That's that side. And do the other side. I've stuck it the right way up. Yes, because it wasn't quite long enough to fit across both pages, I decided that I'd tear in between the sunflowers and make the gap down the middle. It also helps with pages closing. There's less bulk in the middle. There we go. I can see it's hanging over that top edge just a fraction, but do you know what? I can always sort it later, and it's not the end of the world. Okay. So that's made a start. Pop that in the water. Yeah, as I'm sure you all know, and certainly Bev does, I do love a nice sunflower. So, as our theme and the challenge this month is circles, I thought I'd get out these coffee stains and we'll add a few of those on as well. So, I'll go in with the rusty hinge somewhere here. There we go, that'll do. Let's add some. As well with the 2 on it. Maybe try another colour. Let's see what if the wild honey shows up enough. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, and because the numbers is on that one, I'm going to add some numbers too. We'll do that with the crackling campfire. Okay, I'd quite like something to highlight it a bit, and I'm trying to decide at the moment. You can help me decide actually. Do we go for some white pen, maybe round the sunflowers, or do we go for something like maybe some dots with a bit of what's it called? My brain and my mouth are not connected today. Texture paste, you know, that sort of stuff. What do we reckon? Let me know. And as we've got sunflowers, I also got out the sunflower stamp set because I thought we could use some of those too. whilst we think a bit more about that background, I'm just going to set that to one side. And I've got some watercolour card here. I've just realised my that's okay. I realised that my sunflower stalk is separate. I did cut it off on purpose. Bit of white pen. Yeah, I think maybe you're right there, Lynn. Bit of white pen. I'll do that in a few minutes. Right, I'm going to add to those sunflowers. Hi Angela. I don't know if I've said hello already. Sorry. I think maybe my first fine Claire needs re-inking a bit because those are quite pale. But never mind. They're still pretty much there or thereabouts. So. There we go. So I stamped 3 of those. And I thought, oh, we'll cut them out. And then we can add them to the page. Sorry, you're going to have to sit and watch me cutting out again. So what you all been up to then? I've got to say how delighted I am at how many challenge entries we've got already. It's excellent. Thank you so much for joining in. Circles is obviously a theme that you are all loving. So yeah, we'll definitely have that one again in the future. Yes, there's Alison and Katie and I are all busy doing secret squirrel stuff at the minute, so you'll have to excuse us if we are a little bit quiet. It's all very exciting. I'm not going to say any more than that. They certainly are. I think my postman's getting a bit of a complex because, you know, when I'm do do you stalk your postman when you're waiting for stuff? Do you sort of stand in the front window and watch for him coming? Snatch it out of his hands. I don't know if we're going to need all three of these. I'm just going to see what one looks like in a minute, and then we might add the others. We'll see. Might want some smaller flowers. I don't know. Okay, there's the first one. First one done. I'm just going to have a look at it against this page again in a minute. See, this is a problem when you fall in love with the design that's underneath, isn't it? I'm just wondering whether to have one bridging that gap there. Might have to like fold it or cut it down the middle and then place each bit. But I'll colour it first anyway. And then we'll see what else we're doing. I'll put that there for now so you can still see it sort of. Okay, so I'm going to use my Eco round pans for this. I've got lots. I feel like I want it to stand out a bit from the sunflowers that are there, so maybe go slightly more orangey. So that is light orange, and then that one is deep yellow, and maybe just a little touch of the deep orange as well. Okay. I've seen some fabulous pictures of like sunflower people having their photos taken in fields of sunflowers this summer. I don't think there's any near us. I don't know. Caroline, is that because of you or the pets? Yes, I don't have any pets that answer the door. When I was a student, I lodged with a family who had a dog who was fabulous. He could spell, he was amazing. And yes, one day I did open the door to and shouted after the postman, and the dog chased the postman down the street. I think they get used to the houses where there's animals, don't they? I know Lynn's postwoman. She takes treats for the dog. So. Yeah, let's have a look what that looks like. Yes, that's going to stand out nicely from the ones that are there. I think it's something like that. Right, and I'm going to go for sort of browns in the middle, I think. Okay, so finding the right ones. That one. And then maybe... what's that one? Beige. So this one is deep ochre. Oh, they put it in our porch and then close the door and then ring the doorbell. So that's if I haven't already opened the front door and standing there grinning at them, waiting to take it out of their hands. Like a mad woman. It depends how long I've been waiting. I like that. Do I need more? Or shall I do some smaller flowers? Because there's these... Oh, look at this. I need to wash these stamps. I need to get all the dust and stuff off them. There's these two here that I think might be... I think I'm going to... Oh. I'm just wondering actually if I thought, no, I don't know. I'm going to colour some of those. I'm going to stamp some of those, colour them in. And I think a couple of those will be enough. I don't want to, I love the papers so much. I don't want to cover them up too much. Okay. And these, I want to pick out the pink on these, so I'm going to colour these pink. Thank you. So yeah, so that was like the deep orange, the light orange and the deep yellow on the petals there, and then the middle bit was deep ochre and beige. Right, so pinks. This is magenta. And there's another one that is very similar in here somewhere. This one, which is red violet. I'm thinking the magenta. I think magenta looks to be closer to that colour pink than the other one. So we'll go with the magenta. And I'll have some more deep yellow in the middle. I can see that your postwoman, she's going to end up with Pepper doing her rounds with her eventually, isn't she? She's they are the best of friends. I'd say Pepper's more excited to see the postmistress than most other people. Bev, could you take us through the process of subscribing? How do because I notice it doesn't pop up on mine, so I'm not sure. Is it like is it just on the Bee Crafty Facebook page that it gives you that option, or I can't remember. Sorry, I've gone quiet again while I'm cutting out, and annoying. Why can't I cut out and talk at the same time? I think dogs either love the postie or they can't stand them. I think it's Marmite, isn't it? We have a Houdini dog that lives next door, but he tends to go over the back gardens, and I don't think he's ever made off with the postman. Okay. There we go. I'll just go in the middle of that one. I think I'm going to put a bit of orange on the edge of that. Now, we also used to have a Wellington who used to come round, black Labrador, real huge escape artist. There was one day that the family were getting ready to go on holiday, and they'd put him on the back seat, and he went out the open boot and came round to try and find some food in our garden. They were searching the streets for him. Fortunately, most of the time he'd got his collar on, which had got the phone number on. Right. So I like those. I think those pull it in quite nicely. Maybe a bit... No, I'm going to put it there. Right, let's get these fastened down. Yes, and then one day Wellington appeared in our garden, and I was sat at my desk by the window. I opened the door and said, "What are you doing here, Wellington?" And he came in, nicked my slipper, which had fallen off my foot, and went upstairs and started chewing it. Little so-and-so. Like he'd lived here forever. And he hadn't. He really hadn't. Right. This one's going to get the treatment now. I think I'm going to... It's not quite the middle. I'm going to crease it down there. And do I cut it into 2 halves or not, is the question. Whilst I think about that, I'm going to get the white pen out, because this is more or less dry now, so I can start adding some white pen. So I'm just going to go around these petals. Oh, thank you. Right, and I'm going to add some faux stitching. Excuse me while I turn the... I've just realised I've not stuck that one down, have I? I'll do that in a minute. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, like how, I don't know if you saw Bev's post earlier that she, this morning, I think, was it this morning? It might have been longer ago than that, I'm not sure. Where she'd used some white pen on the Catalyst collage papers, and it looked really cool, really cool. I think I'm just going to add a few circles here and there, just using my white pen in this Dinkable. A few down here as well. And maybe do some Bev style hearts. Okay, right, let's stick this one on. I think we'll have that one there. Then, it's that way around, isn't it? I'm going to leave it as one piece for now. If I find that the page doesn't fold, it doesn't close very well, then I'll do something about it. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Right, I might add a bit of white pen around those sunflowers too, and I might add a little bit more detail onto this flower here, maybe some, I don't know, yeah, maybe some more white pen. But what I will do now is add a sentiment. So I shall get my wordy stickers, I think, unless wordy stickers, transparencies, wordy stickers, I think. They're here somewhere. I know they are. I can't get them up there. Here we go. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Do we go for white or do we go for black? I think black. I'm thinking maybe I don't know. I was thinking Pucker Up Buttercup or Happy Talk Only. What do we think? I'll let you choose. Happy Talk Only or Pucker Up Buttercup? Can't see any more comments. It stopped. Maybe there's a bit of a delay, I don't know. I could choose As Colourful as Spring. That would work, wouldn't it? Should we do that? There we go. As Colourful as Spring. And I don't know, might add a bit more white pen in a little while. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, if you subscribe to the Bee Crafty, I think it's a Facebook page, then these papers could be yours to download and print out as well. So, and they are absolutely gorgeous. That's just one of several. I think there's 5 altogether. Can't quite remember. If you haven't watched Bev's live from yesterday, you can go and check that out over on YouTube. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. And I'll be back in a couple of weeks. And I believe it's Bev on Try It Out Tuesday tomorrow. And 4. Thanks, Alison. Yeah, so 4 of the fabulous papers that you can get free. Okay. Take care of yourselves and enjoy your crafting, and let's see if we can get even more entries into our challenge this month. All right. Thank you. Bye.